This message is for you, Jessica, in response to your Facebook message. And since you gave me permission to share your story a little bit, I'm not going to read your whole message, but I will kind of share the premise of your story for others who may watch this. So you've moved from a town where you've lived your whole life, and you've left, in the apparent story of moving, you've left behind this life and this group of friends that you were very close with and spent most of your life with. And in doing so, you've created new friendships and new experiences. And in fact, you left behind a religion that you followed for many years and now are moving to a place of just wanting to understand who you are and your consciousness and that sort of thing. Your question is around judgment and around feeling judged by this old life that once was so important to you. And yet there's a mixed experience of missing the people and the friends and yet feeling judged by them. So that's the premise of your question, and the question itself is how to handle judgment. So there's a few things going on when judgment arises, and especially in the experience that you've shared. I think the first thing to always come back to is the remembrance that there is no one judging. The only judger is this person right here. The belief or the story that wants to be formulated in the mind is that there is separation, and therefore there is someone to judge you. And certainly in this illusion of life, this third dimension where we're experiencing constantly in relationships and friendships that are always changing, there's this belief of something happening to us. The me wants to believe that there is someone judging me, someone abandoning me, someone hurting me, somebody resisting me, somebody jealous of me. The mind wants to go there, wants to elaborate in those stories. Because there's a real remembrance of the experience of sitting and being with this group of friends, the things that you did with them. And you even mentioned in your Facebook question that you sometimes go to a visualization of being in a room where you used to hang out with all of them, seeing yourself in that room with all of them, but not feeling like you're there and hearing them talk about you and judge you. The mind is amazing. It's a miraculous little computer. And it pulls into this moment the experience of something past or apparently past, as time is not real. And in that story it says, I smell the room, I feel the room, I feel the sensations, I taste, the smells, all of it is here right now. Yet I'm not there, and they're judging me. They're saying, oh, she's left religion. Oh, she's left this town. She thinks she's better than us. Oh, she's got a boyfriend, and that goes against what she should be doing. Oh, she's dancing, and that's wrong too. Oh, my goodness. And the mind wants to grab on to all of these thoughts, of all of these apparent stories, of all of these apparent people judging. Life is always bringing us what is necessary, what is loving, what is relevant. Life is always unfolding for us, and change is the only thing we can be sure of in this earthly experience. If life is allowing this, then so am I. I'm going to love it. It's here. It's present. It's in this moment. As soon as I go to a thought that it should be different, that is my own suffering. My grandfather used to say to me during middle school, high school years that can be quite challenging, if you knew how little other people thought about you, you wouldn't worry so much about what they were saying. And that's not to discount your place in that circle of friends. That's not what's intended. What's intended is to get back to the thought that they may not even be talking or judging you, that your mind wants to go there and create that illusion or that story. Your mind wants to believe that that's true. It even wants to go to the room and see this false abandonment of being in the room with all of them and being not part of it. You mentioned that this circle of friends when you first moved used to comment on all your posts on Facebook and like all of your photos, and now you post and put photos and they don't even seem to come by and look at them or mention them. The reality is, that's okay. Your new friends are probably doing this, and your expectations that your old friends are continuing to behave the way they used to behave is an expectation. It's a condition. I will love you if you do this. And then what happens? The mind then starts to go into a whole new story. Well, then I won't go to their page. I won't like their photos. I won't like their stories. And then we get to be a victim. We get to be a victim of what's arising because it's different than we expect it to be, which is a form of self-judgment, a form of self-abuse, self-inflicted pain. If you are missing these friends, you mentioned specifically at the holidays you miss them very much, then tell them. But don't do it from a place of conditional love. I'm going to text you or I'm going to write to you and tell you I love you because I need to hear that in return. There is only one person, one judger in all of this equation, and that is this person right here. This person right here that wants to be judged and feel separate and believe that there is a judger. Life has unfolded perfectly for you. It will continue to do so. Change will always be a part of this. Relationships and friendships will come and go exactly as is intended. And there will be some relationships in your life where you won't hear from someone for a year or 2 years, and then when you do, you pick up right where you left off. And that's unconditional. It's just saying, I'm allowing you to be where you are. And when you show up here, that's beautiful too. And when you don't, that's okay too. Often when we start down this path of becoming more aware of the self, friendships, relationships, things that used to be part of our experience just simply fall away. It's our thought that it should be different that causes suffering. They're falling away divinely and perfectly. Sadness or attachment is simply a thought. That I must keep them in my life. I've known them X number of years, therefore they must be part of my experience. I haven't had a Christmas without talking to them. I haven't had a New Year's without being with them. The reality is you've created some beautiful new friendships. You've got some beautiful new experiences. I often say to people, manifestation is like a well. Like one of those old wells that we used to collect water in the front yard. And attachment is holding on to those manifestations so that our well becomes full of these things we're attached to that become murky water. And then the beautiful water falls from the rain, and there's nowhere for that new manifestation to go because our well is completely full of murky old water. Yet if we just pull the plug and let the murky water out, our well can fill up again with those beautiful new manifestations. This doesn't mean we let go of love or loving memories. Those stories are beautiful. They're snapshots in our mind. that bring us back to that experience, to that feeling of hugging that friend or laughing all night with that circle of friends. There's no need to let that story go. And the great gift in all of this is even the stories where we catch ourselves in judgment, we catch ourselves in resentment, we catch ourselves in jealousy. Even those are okay because they're what are arising right now. It's our judgment of them and our expectation of them to be different. There is no right or wrong in this. It's allowing. It's allowing, receiving and allowing, not attaching to what shows up. Just let it come into the experience, and if it needs to, let it go out of the experience. And just hold the thought of how beautiful it was, how beautiful it is, how beautiful it will be. I really am just so thrilled for you in this new life that you've created. And my hope for you in this very, very moment that I'm recording this is that you continue to allow what arises to be the beautiful thing that it is. This presence, this gift. And that when you're feeling judged, you can say, here I am being that judger. And even that's perfect. And the awareness that it's even there is perfect. Don't get down on yourself when you catch yourself in these stories. Don't beat yourself up. Don't say, I wish it was different. Don't say, oh, Jessica, here I am again. Slowly it becomes something you can laugh at. You don't get in the mind traps as long anymore. You just go, there it is. There's that judging thing. There's that jealousy story. There's that resentful story. You're perfectly where you need to be right now. And then again now. And then again now. And there's no need to change it. And every thought that you need to change it is saying that right now is imperfect. I send you a huge hug since I can't see you in person. I adore you. I hope that you will reach out if you have any other questions. And I send you a big, 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 big kiss. Love you, Jessica.